I'm a licensed therapist and have been so for 17 years. I suspect everyone here knows that we've had soldiers fighting in Afghanistan for the last 6.5 years. Why? Because a theocracy set up by the Taliban was not only destroying a long-established civilization, but in their religious zealousness were providing a home for a faith-based group of terrorists, Al-Qaeda. The instrumental word here is theocracy. What does that mean? Theocracy is a form of government in which a god or deity is recognized as the supreme civil ruler. For believers, theocracy is a form of government in which divine power governs an earthly human state, either in a personal incarnation or more often via religious institutional representatives, replacing or dominating the civil government. Last that I knew, the government of Kern County was a secular one. I've been a proud civil servant for over 22 years of my life. I now want to define civil servants. A civil servant or public servant is a civilian career public sector employee working for a government department or agency. The term always includes state employees, whether regional or sub-state, even municipal employees. I must say that I'm appalled and ashamed that an elected official of my home county is dictating the actions of civil servants based on her religious tenets. I hope that the board will immediately request a full investigation of Ms. Barnett's actions. It seems clear that in her staffing and emails to faith-based organizations that she's crossed the line separating church and state. Ms. Barnett has every right to attend any cathedral, church, mosque, temple, or witches' coven that she chooses. But to dictate to civil servants under her direction to follow her narrow, bigoted, and intolerant beliefs is not acceptable. I demand that Ms. Barnett resign her position. If she resigns, she'll be able to have the freedom to go to a theocratic country such as Iran or Saudi Arabia, where she and like-minded religious fanatics have much in common. To use the excuse of budget, space, or even the supposed disparity between past state initiative is absurd. If the state Supreme Court had not found in favor of the rights of homosexuals to marry, our county's clerk's office would still be performing marriage ceremonies. The court has made an unpopular decision. It's done that in the past. It outlawed slavery. Obviously, our society now sees the error of its ways. Yet the vast majority would have said slavery was appropriate. We had a civil war over it. Our state Supreme Court is once again leading the march in civil rights. I support it and strongly and forcefully and request that you unanimously rebuke Ms. Barnett for her shameful behaviors. Thank you very much.
I would like to say to the board, though, that having served 10 years up there and going through issues sort of like this, then 10 years in the state legislature, where I've voted to pass a lot of county ordinances, which is laws, and laws in the state also, that you have a job and the state has a job. Sometimes the state doesn't agree with you that you're not very important. I've always thought you were. I would like to say that I do, like say, agree with Ms. Barnett. She has every right to do within the law, and she's broke no law. But I just want to point out today that there's people here that agree with her, think she has every right to do that. So we can argue. But what I don't like in our state here is that we have the Ninth Circuit Court up there that's always making laws, and you guys agree with a lot of it. Each member have agreed with that. Now we got the state Supreme Court here that have on a divided vote are making laws again. The people, the way you make laws you do here, you gentlemen make the decisions, you pass ordinance, that's law. That's the way it ought to be. And they don't need any court up there telling you you can't do it that way. In the legislature, the Assembly, and the Senate passes laws and the governor signs them in. And we don't need a court telling them you can do this. The only other way you can change the law is through an amendment in the initiative process, which people did already in Prop 22. Now, some people don't like that, but the majority of people in the state say, hey, we don't believe in people getting married, men marrying men and women marrying women. And it's overwhelming. In Kern County, 80% of the people. So these people are definitely in the minority. That's all right. I've been there, up there in the legislature with my votes. But the point is, they won't be able to tell you what you have to do. And you can pass an ordinance now, because the law has not changed, and you can make your own ordinance if you wanted to. You can do it right when you refer it to county council without boring people the process, unless it's changed since I left here. I know you can't do that today. But I appreciate the fact that you'll listen to me, because I'm speaking now for 80% of the Kern County's voters. 80% of them say they want it this way. They want this, what's in the state law now, that the marriage is between an unmarried man and an unmarried woman. It's clear. There's no difference. And when some of them try to use it, well, they did it way back when he said black people get married. That was a blight on our country, I know. But that did not change the law. It is abided by the law. They have a black man and a black unmarried woman. They get married, not two men or two women. So the law has not been changed. The law has always been between a man and a woman. And I'm trying not to get excited, because I know you people get excited too. I used to get excited up there. I've not changed. I just got older. But I appreciate the fact that you people are here, and I'd like to introduce, if I could, a person. I'm on the time limit, hopefully. Randy Thomason with the Children for Campaign for Families also to speak next, if I may. I don't know how it's working. You tell me. But
Mr. Harvey, because of your esteemed presence, I will allow you to introduce somebody.
God bless you. I shouldn't use that word here. I shouldn't. God bless you. Randy Thomason.
My name is Randy Thomason, and we are experts on marriage. It's ironic. You just had some votes on children and families doing intervention. Children who have been abused, neglected. Also, you had a recognition of a homeless issue. That's intervention, and we all know that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of intervention. We all know this. And marriage is that prevention. If you have a married mom and dad under the same roof, that's the best safety net you can have for children in society. The bulk of social science evidence supports that. So from a social benefit perspective, protecting marriage is pro-child to the max. When you look at this decision locally, the discretion of your county clerk to say, I don't want to do any marriage performances, no solemnizations, that's her discretion. And that's also what other counties do. Do you know that's the way Tulare County does it? They don't perform any marriages there with the civil body. Monterey County, they don't do any solemnizations at the county office. Santa Barbara County on the coast, they don't do any solemnizations either. So your clerk is in good stead to say, I don't want to have a bunch of craziness at the county offices. You know what? We'll just give people a list where they can go and where they can get married if they want to. That's done in other counties. It's not strange. On the subject of marriage, can you actually protect marriage here in your county? Can you pass an ordinance? Yes, you can. The California State Constitution says that the judicial and the legislature are separate, and they can't do each other's jobs. In fact, the Constitution says that only the legislature and the people through the initiative process can make the laws. That's upholding the Constitution, to recognize that. The California Supreme Court has actually violated the Constitution. Justice Marvin Baxter called it legal jujitsu, judicial overreach. Even Carol Corrigan, who opined that she supports personally same-sex marriage, she criticized the majority, saying that they have not exercised judicial restraint. So there's a lot of opposition to the California Supreme Court's unconstitutional ruling, and the people have already qualified a ballot measure that says marriage is only for a man and a woman. That is going to go into the Constitution and override the court. There's a question.
Sir, your 3 minutes are up. Could you please summarize?
I apologize for that.
It's okay.
I would encourage this county to pass an ordinance that will protect marriage licenses only for a man and a woman. He swore to protect the Constitution, not to uphold what the judges said. And this county can align itself with the statutes which have not been changed. For the benefit of children, I urge you to do that. Thank you.